Welcome back. I received a mail from one of the persons who saw my tutorial and he wanted me to discuss a BCMS methodology if an organization were to start from scratch. I would make use of the PMI laid down project standards, wherein a project has 5 phases: initiation, planning, execution, control, and closure. So we have a project which has the 5 phases. A BCMS implementation starting from scratch is like a project. It's a project because it has a fixed objective, a fixed scope, a laid down time frame, and it has a beginning and an end. Once the objectives are achieved, the project then gets integrated into the organizational DNA, where it gets into the maintenance mode. So I have a project and then it gets integrated along with the other projects into the maintenance mode. A BCMS journey typically starts whenever one of these scenarios are met. There's someone from the top who mandates that the organization or the department should have a business continuity and disaster recovery plan. It could be because of a legislation that mandates the organization to have a BCMS in place. It could be because one of the departments had a disaster and a need for a BCMS was felt. It could be because someone in the vicinity or someone that you are aware of met with a disaster. For example, the unfortunate 9/11 incident sparked and created an awareness in many organizations for the need to have a BCP and DRP plan. Or it could be just that your CXO went to a recent conference and he heard these terms, the BCP DRP plan, and felt that it is something which the organization needs. Irrespective of the scenario, the most important parameter that ensures a BCMS success is top level commitment. Without that in place, the journey would fail. It would be a plan which is good on paper, but in case of disaster, it would just remain that good on paper. Top level commitment is the single most important parameter that guarantees success. Without it, one should not even embark on a journey. So how does a BCMS journey commence? Someone at the top says that the organization needs a BCMS. They create a project charter. What the project charter does is, it says that this is the objective of this project, this is the scope, this is the project manager, and this is the time frame within which we hope that the objective is achieved. The next step is selection of the project manager. The name of the project manager would typically be in the project charter, and hence selection of project manager would be before issuing a project charter. In most of the organizations that we have consulted with, the project manager is someone from the IT. The organizations start with a DR plan for the IT department and then roll it to the other business units. So we have the DR plan first in place, then a business continuity plan, and it works well. The reason is that IT enables the entire business for most of the organizations. Therefore, recovery of IT is very important, and having done that, it would be easy for the project manager to roll it on to the business units. he has the learning curve efficiency now in place. Once the project manager is decided, the project manager needs to identify, firstly, whether he has the resources within the organization to help him implement a BCMS. There would be some resources that would be available, but in case they are tied up with other projects which are higher priority, then they may not be of use to him. In that case, does he have some other individuals who have the necessary experience? This experience could be based on their early organizations where they had dealt with something similarly, or someone who has taken a keen interest in this field. If he has the resources, who have experience, are they capable of undertaking the journey? If no, do they need training? If yes, where could they get the training? What is the time limits within which the plan is to be implemented? Or does it make sense to get consultants in place to help them design and implement the BCMS plan, and then a kind of BOTS, build, operate and transfer mode, wherein the consultants come in, help the organization build, operate and then transfer the plan to the organization with the knowledge transition, so that the further journey can be undertaken by the organization's resources. If consultants are required, then we need to create a RFP, a request for proposal. So the project manager would need to create an RFP which would document as to what is the organizational objective for the BCMS, what is the scope, and what is the time plan within which the objectives are to be achieved. Bids are invited and then proposals are evaluated. The criteria for evaluation of proposals should be: 1. What is the consultant organization's experience in similar projects? 2. Experience of the team which the consulting organization has recommended. This team could be the same that would come and implement, or it could be people with the same kind of experience that would come and implement the BCMS plan. And the third would be experience of the organization, experience of the team, sample deliverables. What kind of deliverables does the organization, the consulting organization, show in the RFP? And lastly would be the value for money. The value for money would be the price that the organization charges and the quality that you expect. Based on these 4 parameters, the organization would evaluate the bids and the bid would be granted to one of the organizations. The consultants come in to the organization. This is where this tutorial stops. In the next tutorial, once the consultants have come in your organization, what are the steps that the organization needs to do would be discussed. Thank you and please be back.